Are the Lakers going to put up a good fight this season?
First of all, let me just get this out the way. I don't think there's anyone in this industry that can pull off those war references like you and still be relatable and still be the cool dude you are. Good. Kudos to you.
He made a connect.
Boy, he made a connect. Took me back to my Marv Levy Buffalo Bills days when Marv would sit there, that Harvard graduate, and get you motivated with the deepest of intellects. And you're like, I don't know what he just said, but you know what? I'm about to go kill somebody. That's how I feel right now, Whitlock, but I got to be objective. As much as I love my Clippers, I do not hate these Lakers, and I do not hate this squad. This Lakers squad is for real. And let me tell you what's going to happen. Let me give you an analogy, book/movie of my own. Hunger Games. You ever see the Hunger Games? We're going to talk about
Go ahead.
You started it? We're going to talk about the hunger of this Los Angeles Lakers organization and team. Let's start at the top. LeBron James, motivated, fully motivated. Last year, despite the numbers, that wasn't an MVP performance. He wants to go back and get his crown as the best in the game. Let's talk about AD. His name drugged through the mud throughout the transaction of him becoming a Los Angeles Laker. He wants to clear that. That guy's been nothing but great for the NBA. He wants to validate that. Kuzma, just talked to Kuzma not too long ago. Kuzma is on a mission, wondering why everyone keeps talking about this dynamic duo and not a big three.
Okay.
Because Kuzma's like, I'm the remaining of the young core for a reason. Let me go out there and show you these buckets. Let's talk about Rob Pelinka. Is he just Kobe's agent, or is he finally going to do something? I don't consider this Plan B move that he did for the free agents because he didn't get Plan A and Kawhi as validation. Going forward, he needs validation that this roster he constructed actually pays dividends. And last but not least, my homegirl, Jeannie Buss. She's not had a winning season as an owner yet. Think about that. Jeannie Buss has not won yet as an owner. So the hunger of this organization from top to bottom, on top of the fact that Vegas has them favored over my Clippers. Be careful if you just say, hand us the rings. We got some competition.
Before you go, Chris, my memory of the movie The Hunger Games is not that sharp. But don't they all turn on each other or something?
Hey, look, we got to eat or either die or kill. That's what happens. So, yeah, they do turn on each other.
Look, first and foremost, LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, they are not going to fold. I'll tell you that right now. But let me say this. I feel sorry for LeBron James. And the reason I do, because, look, I remember talking to him when I was covering him in Cleveland. He said, Chris, nothing has ever been given to me that was easy. And he started, I can't remember the different scenarios, but you look at when he came back to Cleveland, we thought he was going to have a pretty good chance to accomplish multiple championships with Cleveland. And then all of a sudden, over there in the West Coast, Golden State came about.
Yes, it
became a historic team out of nowhere. Nobody saw that. And then you go back, fast forward, rewind back to his Miami days, 2 championships, 4 years. Not what they wanted to get done, but successful nonetheless. Now he comes over to the Lakers, and you get AD. That's all fine and dandy. And now all of a sudden, in his own backyard, he has to deal with the revamped Los Angeles Clippers. A team that has assembled a roster that they have never seen before. It was a historical moment. He has to deal with that. And so if LeBron James, people want to talk about this Michael Jordan comparison, there's no comparison to me. Michael Jordan is still number one.
All right.
But I will say this. Michael Jordan hasn't gone through the competition bout that LeBron James has seen through his career.
Stop.
I said it with
the Pistons put it on Jordan.
That was his earlier days.
The Pistons, the Magic's Lakers. Michael went through some things. But let me just say this, because this is not shtick, what I opened the show talking about. It's a true belief. When you just look at the facts that Marcellus laid out, Jeannie Buss has never had a winning season.
That's going to change this year.
Steve Ballmer comes to the NBA, a neophyte. He's already had some success. Colin Cowherd used to say this all the time, and first time I heard it blew my mind, and the second I went and looked at second-generation businesses. When parents hand businesses down to their kids, the stats are unbelievable with the failure that goes on in that business.
Yeah.
That's what's happened here with Jim Buss and Jeannie Buss. No disrespect to them. They're not their father. They're second-generation business owners. This thing is falling apart. They can't get free agents. They got AD through trade because of his relationship with Rich Paul and all that, and forced his way. And before this man suits up, he's already making comments about Chicago, and he's already told me, I'm really just signed up for 1 year. This thing isn't going as planned.
Whoa. Everybody
had their mouth set. Kawhi was coming. And now that he's not, and it's going to be harder than what people expect, people are already like, well, I got an exit strategy, and I'm AD. Maybe I can get a second star to go with me to Chicago and do with KD.
We talking that already?
Hey,
AD he
put it in the air.
He played for Lakers yet.
It's out there for a reason. It's out there for a reason. I'm glad you brought up second-generation business owners, because it's also the same correlation with sophomore slump. The problem is when you're second generation, daddy did it, mama did it, my turn, I'm going to do it, is same thing with a sophomore slump. You had great success your first year. You don't go back to square one. You think you already made it. You think you're a lot closer than you should, and that's the problem. It's not going to happen through osmosis. Only thing that wakes you up is hitting bottom. A lot of sophomore slumps, you hit bottom, you're like, oh, it is a climb. Every single year you got to reset. This franchise, I think they hit bottom. Think about it. No playoffs. You got the best player in the world. You got Magic Johnson as ambassador. He quits. He's hurt. And y'all don't make the playoffs. Rock bottom. They went silent. They went dark. And then they had quiet aspirations for Kawhi that got louder because it looked real. It looked feasible. But the reality is they've matched and mixed a team together that I have to understand that Vegas is rightfully put them as 1 or 2. I don't think that they're better than the Clippers because of chemistry, but that's a hard thing to measure. So just in terms of roster construction, they got a squad. So all that yesteryear, not winning, no championship, no playoffs, the Lakers going to be in the fold. They're going to be in the mix.
My issue mentally for them, and particularly with LeBron at 35, I think if the Clippers were Sacramento or Portland or Denver, it's the fact they're in this building, and you have to look at it every day, what they have. And it's not just Kawhi and Paul George. This Army coming off the bench, man, and this championship coach who is extremely motivated. Everybody that I see over in the Clippers, I think, in every position is more motivated than the people in the Lakers organization.
Don't make me tell the truth.
And they got better personnel.
Everything. We better top to bottom.
And so I'm just sorry. This Steve Ballmer dude is not playing around, and they have the pieces. And I just think I've already seen Magic quit. I've already heard Anthony Davis before he even suits up. That's crazy to me. To even joke, let's say he was joking about it. Let's just say he was home, he was feeling it. To even go there before suiting up is crazy to me. And I trust me on it, I know what LeBron does when things don't go the way that he wants them to go. He starts looking, how can I get up out of this? How can I leak this information or that information that clears my name and my legacy? I agree. It's going to be Hunger Games over there, and they're going to look over and see the Clippers eating steak and potatoes every day. And be like, I got to get out of here.
J-Dub. Everything you said, look, I'm not trying to be a Laker homer or anything like that, but everything you're talking about in the past. We shouldn't be mentioning anything that had to do with the Lakers beyond July 1. July 1 up, that's what we should be talking about right now. And what they've done since July 1, they've assembled a comparable roster that can compete with anybody up there. I still will put the Clippers. They're my favorites as of right now.
They didn't get what they wanted, Chris.
That's fine. But look, in this day and age, they don't need 3 superstars. I was talking to a Laker player the other day. I'm like, all right, y'all struck out on Kawhi. That's fine. But damn, 2 superstars is pretty good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Kawhi did it with what, a superstar and a half over there in Toronto? Right. You don't need that. That's fine and dandy. But look, Magic is gone. Jeannie hasn't had a winning record since she's been a sole owner. That's fine. I guarantee she'll have a winning record this year. That's for sure. And one more thing about the Clippers. Marcellus.
I'm listening.
All right. We want to talk about this. How much maintenance is Kawhi going to need during the regular
It
season.
sound like much load management. He
sound like
pumped
to
from
me.
training camp. Did you hear him?
I
You
said-
were there.
I was
he
there.
He said, I'm excited for training camp.
He said that. That's good.
That's not load management.
And as of right now, that press conference is the peak of the Clippers' tenure of being in existence.
Now
that's
you
the
had,
peak.
you had to get your shot in.
That's the peak.
I thought we weren't going nowhere before July 1st. Now we know all of a sudden get our shots
That was just
in.
yesterday. That was just yesterday.
Okay.
But that's the peak right now.
That Bomber's peak?
Or
is Bomber combat ready? Did he go over in Microsoft in Silicon Valley and tech industry and went to war and came out on top? Show me Jeannie Buss where she's gone to war.
Like
Show me her stripes.
I like everything you're saying. Hey, but Paul George.
Show me Pelinka's stripes.
When is Paul George?
Show me Frank Vogel's
Paul
stripes.
George got a couple shoulder issues coming back from. They got it, it's going to take time.
Those are lacerations from the surgeries on Paul George. Stop it.
I'm not going to disrespect Paul George. I'm not going to disrespect, but I just want to say this. If he's not 100%, I'm just sorry. Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, that stuff coming off the bench can compensate if he's only 80% this year.
Yeah, lethal. Look, I love the fact that you wanted to make a line of distinction, demarcation from July 1st prior and now. Because if we're going to go there on the Lakers before July 1st, you can go there on the Clippers. I'm going to stay narrowly focused to this question. Are they going to put up a good fight? Hell yeah. One, you don't share the same building. It sounds like you do. We both are tenants. You know what happens? On game day, I go to both. It's not the same. You got a Laker game? Ladies and gentlemen, it's quiet. All right. We're going to live in the past because we know what's out there right now. I ain't going to get it. Okay, you go to Clipper game? T-shirts hitting you, hot dogs hitting you. A good game. They're going to make it to the playoffs. Ooh, just a little short. Now we got two cherries on top. To your point, the Lakers didn't get what they wanted. Clippers didn't get what they wanted either. They got Kawhi, but they were shooting for James Harden, Bradley Beal. They got Paul George, and we know that's not
second star.
I'm just saying they didn't fall down, but the devil's in the details. I think the Lakers going to put up a great fight this year, but come up just short of my.
I'm going to give you the other thing that, as a Los Angeles person, you can disagree with me and you may be right, but I truly believe this. When the Lakers experience what's about to happen with these fans in Los Angeles, this mass exodus, this turning their back on the lake, and it will happen. It's going to happen with celebrities, and it's going to happen with the hardcore fans first, and the celebrities are going to fall behind because they know you got to be with the streets. And so it's going to happen. They will be second fiddle in this city, and maybe a year from now. But once they get that arena and all the stuff they're doing in the community, and Kawhi is an authentic Los Angeles person, so is Paul George. Anthony Davis is a Chicago guy. LeBron's a Cleveland guy. They're just renting. The city is going to go with these young Los Angeles kids and the Clippers. All this, the Los Angeles Lakers. This is the Lakers nation, Lakers town. Watch what I say.
Give me the last word on this one, because I got to do this, because I'm a native and I'm going to rip it.
If you can bless right now, you'll be doing it now.
I am. My undertones are, at least. Let me tell you this. They already done did it. The takeover is real, because you got to start with the youth and you got to start with the hardcore. Where was the press conference yesterday?
South Central.
South Central. You go to over 200 courts to get an open run in L.A. right now, you're going to see Clippers on the background. Nowhere are you going to see Lakers in the hood with the youngsters. The youngsters haven't even seen a good Lakers team. So if you want to talk about that takeover, the initiatives are real, the team is there, and now it's going to come together.
I wish I had some kind of hip-hop analogy off the top of my head for what Kawhi represents and what LeBron represents at 35. But to me, it's kind of, and again, I love Will Smith. But and I love him. I love Will Smith. That's the lane LeBron's in. L.A. tends to go with the Ice Cube crowd. And trust, Ice Cube's going to jump ship, man.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.